Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this morning's webinar that will demonstrate how Skype for Business guarantees return on investment and enables your users to embrace new technologies. My name is Daniel Bruce, and I work in the marketing team at GCI. And your host for this morning is our UC product manager, Naeem Azam. Good morning, Naeem.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, everyone.
If you experience any technical issues or have any questions throughout the webinar, you can submit them using the chat icon in the bottom left-hand corner. After the webinar, we'll also be sending you a recording accompanied by the presentation slides used. I'll now pass you on to Naeem. We do hope you enjoy the webinar. Over to you, Naeem.
Thank you. Okay, so good morning, everybody, and welcome to this webinar. So what we'll hopefully demonstrate today is how Skype for Business will give you that return of investment if you adhere to and implement a adoption program that we at GCI have sort of designed. Okay, so what I would like to start off with, first of all, is just trying to sort of ask ourselves a question and understand the whys. What problem are we solving, today, and why are we solving it? Well, so in terms of the sort of opportunities and the customer pain points I see in the market today, we see quite common that customers are looking to replace their PBX replacements. Customers may be looking to move into the cloud or looking for some sort of OPEX models. We have some customers who are looking at becoming a modern business, or they may even be going through some sort of business transformation. So they might be on a pathway for acquisitions and mergers, and that gives them a real opportunity to basically bring all the businesses together and integrate them, or use this opportunity to implement new technologies. What I also see is, markets are becoming a lot more competitive as well. So, some businesses are being pressurized to actually become a lean and agile business. So, these are some of the sort of pain points that we're seeing in the market, which is basically driving customers to now look at alternative methods of working and also of alternative technology. And unified comms technology, and Skype for Business in particular, really solves this problem exceptionally well. Okay, so this is a big change. Okay, so you have new technologies that are being implemented. Now, these new technology will absolutely instigate new behaviors, and those behaviors are going to impact people in first and foremost. And we also know that people do respond to change completely differently. Okay, so there's a big people promise. The technology makes a commitment that people will be more effective and to be more efficient. But that will only be fulfilled when people are fully onboarded and brought into that change of new technology. And we know that behaviors are different. People respond differently to new change and new technologies. There's also a lot of emotive and emotions involved as well. You might have somebody in your business or organization who has been very happily working for, I don't know, 10, 20 years with a standard desktop phone. And then for them to sort of change into some sort of different device using new technology, could be a scary thought. You might have other people who are changing their place of work, so they might become mobile workers, home workers, or a completely new office. So, people's concern of not knowing the new tools and technology that are being implemented could lead to users being quite apprehensive, if I'm honest. So it's very important to understand that it's the people who make things happen, and that technology is simply a tool that is an enabler. So it's absolutely crucial and critical to understand and listen to the needs of our users. Okay, so the next big promise the technology makes is that it allows you to work from anywhere. So Skype for Business allows users to communicate securely, stay connected with colleagues and customers from virtually wherever they choose to work. You can communicate across multiple devices, so users can switch among devices as they choose based on their needs. So Skype for Business offers a familiar and consistent user experience across PC, phone, browser, and tablets. Furthermore to that, you get seamless integration of the software, so switching between instant messaging, document sharing, and voice has never been so smooth and seamless, and this is further extended within the whole Office 365 stack system. And then another big one, which is the commercial promise. So Skype for Business technology makes a commitment that it can bring in some cost savings. So, you can increase your company's cash flow by switching to a true OPEX model. You can reduce reduce costs by expelling disparate systems and combining them all into one encompassing solution. You will make efficiencies from using a cohesive product set, people savings. For example, people will be more effective, they'll be more efficient, there'll be more collaboration involved. You might have remote meetings within the organization, and by having conferencing facilities, the need for people to travel, pay for hotel, etc. is all lost because you can basically have a meeting remotely anywhere. And then you have the added benefit of free VoIP calls. So there's a number of items here which basically, make a promise, be it commercial, be it technology, or be it people promise. Now, resistance to change happens when we don't fully understand the need of our users. If we don't communicate effectively with them, if we don't understand or them not understanding the capabilities of what your products can deliver, can lead to an element of resistance. So certain users may not be tech savvy, and they fear that they will struggle with new learnings, and that could be another resistance to change, or a barrier to overcome when it comes to user adoptions. So when we don't apply effective planning, when a partner is not aligned to your business outcome, these are some of the reasons why customers are not seeing a return. So what this program will demonstrate, it will give you that assurances, and it will offer you a blueprint to an adoption program that will overcome any resistance you could experience. So how do I know this? Okay, well, I understand what the pain points are, and I understand what are the barriers to your successful adoption program. So we have delivered hundreds of thousands of Skype seats, and that's given me a unique opportunity to actually analyze, delve in, and absolutely learn what does work and what doesn't work. So for example, we have deployed solutions in a wide variety of businesses such as public sector, health, council, security, enterprise, retail, and travel and tourism. And yes, in some scenarios, some very key lessons learned in terms of what the barriers and obstacles to adoption and what success, if applied, looks like. So the program which I'm presenting today, it is based on doing a lot of analysis in terms of what does and doesn't work. So will it help me? Is it for me? Well, if you're a customer and you want to understand how digital transformation can lower your cost and increase productivity, then absolutely yes. Or if you're a customer who's see driving user adoption as critical to delivering the return of investment your unified comms solution wants, then absolutely. Or you may have already made an investment in UC, but you're not reaping the rewards, or the ROI that you expected is not forthcoming. Again, this adoption program will be absolutely for you. On the flip side, you could be just seeking that guarantee, that assurance that this technology will deliver the return on investment, and you want to see some real tangible evidence. Okay, and you can see that real tangible evidence because you'll have easy to understandable data, or you have some sort of structured learning approach for your employees. Okay, I'm just going to take a moment and just talk a bit about GCI. So, GCI is a Microsoft CSP provider, and we're certified on the Skype Operations Framework. So GCI is one of UK's leading Skype for Business provider, and we have over 200,000 seats installed across the UK. Now, that is a mammoth amount of experience and wealth of knowledge of what works and what does not work. So, we have learned and got to a point in that we are very experienced and skilled in deployments, but we also understand that each customer is unique and different, and also customers are looking for a partner, not a supplier. And we have this policy where we have a customer first policy, so everything we'll do is built in around the customer. So we have the expertise to deploy the right solution to help you with any form of digital transformation, covering not just unified comms. So, we have a comprehensive range of networking, cloud, and security products. So one of the first steps, and this really is the foundation to all your success, is that we take a lot of time in trying to understand you, the customer, and your needs. What is your strategy? What business outcomes are you looking to achieve? And this is all wrapped around that customer first policy. So, I remember when I first started, as a unified comms product manager, we had a customer scenario where a customer had deployed a full hosted Skype solution. However, what we also observed was the feedback we gave from the customer that the adoption wasn't quite in terms of what the customer expected. Again, when we delved in, when we tried to understand what were the challenges and everything, the sort of common feedback we were getting and the consistent feedback we were getting is that users advised that the call quality probably wasn't there, and also the user experience wasn't exactly what their expectations was. Now, Microsoft's key differentiator is the user experience. So the whole Microsoft Stack system is consistent. It helps with adoption. However, in this scenario, what had happened was that the device element was left right towards the end. So if you have a Skype for Business certified device that's fitted with the right profile, it provides the right experience and the right call quality. Whereas in this particular experience, the whole experience was just out of kilter. So again, at GCI, when we look at your consultancy, when we look at your needs, we do look at the whole end-to-end point. It's not just about the new technology, but it's also about the end user experience as well. So within the consultancy element, this is where we sort of understand you, the customer. We want to understand your business objectives, and we want to understand what journey you want to take in the next 1, 3, 5, or maybe even 8 years. And whatever we propose will fit in and around that. So we will deliver analysis, design, and adoption workshops. And these will be a set of consultancy workshop sessions specifically created to add value, offer you strategic direction, and help you onboard the right solutions. So GCI also considers user engagement and business analysis to be tightly related, and what we see is that both these elements are key to user adoption and the ultimate success of the project. User personas. Now, there could be anything from 3 to 5 different personas in one typical workspace. You might have a mobile worker, a desk worker, a receptionist, or even somebody who works in a call center or a contact center. So again, each one of these personas will have different needs, different requirements, and they will expect a different education and an onboarding program. Or you may have developed a UC offering, but you're not seeing it, but you're having challenges with the adoption, with the efficiency, or with those gains. Again, this is an opportunity to revisit the consultancy element and really understand what isn't working and what isn't working. Now, in my experience, I've never come across 2 sets of customer requirements that have been exactly the same. Each customer is absolutely unique, and we fully understand that. Okay, and we fully design our solutions, our support in and around that as well. So it's all about understanding you. And when we do high-level design workshop, which is a deep dive into your customer's technical requirements, we will also do stakeholder analysis reports and adoption program, which will demonstrate who and which teams to transition first, who will have that push-pull effect. So for example, you may want to start with your training department because you feel that they will have the biggest pull effect for the rest of the organization. Or you may have certain departments who use high-end collaboration tools like a software development or engineering development team, and for them a push effect might be the sort of best way of adopting it. But these are the kind of things that we try to understand and identify in your business, and then make some recommendation in terms of who we onboard. Now, the consultancy will deliver a set of outputs and reports and plans. We go through a list of 25 different areas of consultation. So we'll start with your existing telephony, collaboration, and desktop estate. We'll look at the functionality you require with Skype for Business. We will look at any sort of operator call recorder requirements that you may have. And again, all of this will lead to a readiness approach in terms of your organization. And this is where we get to the delivery stage. So we fully understand, what your needs are. We fully understand the experience that you want. So now that we've completed the consultancy element and understand what your needs are, we've got a plan now that we know will deliver an extraordinary customer experience. So what's next? Well, one of the first things we do is a readiness approach. And this is where we'll actually just do all the checks and balances, make sure everything's ready. Something like number porting can take a number of time. You have a dependency on maybe a third party. We've got to make sure that the technology is ready, the people are ready, and the support service is ready. Then we move on to the transition stage. Now, on the transition stage, this is where you'll get a dedicated project management. And we feel like we stand out because, you know, the project manager will support you throughout the journey. And this is a fundamental change. We understand the importance of that. Hence why for us, it's just not a technical delivery, it's much more than that as well. So we'll also make your migration as smooth as possible. So we'll try to understand which is the least impactful way and which is the best way of getting everybody onboarded. We will have a specific onboarding or maybe even offboarding program as well. And this is where we define that push-pull effect. So do we go for super users? Do we go for certain departments? Who is going to leverage the biggest gains in this particular deployment of yours? You'll have access to certified trainers. You'll also have access to certified Microsoft professionals as well. And again, any third-party products or customizations will also be tested and deployed in this particular stage as well. And then finally, the support wraparound. So again, dedicated account managers, dedicated service delivery managers, and the ongoing support for you to sort of fulfill that particular need. So for us, above all, it's a partnership. It's about meeting your needs today, and it's also about planning for tomorrow. Okay. So we understand what your needs are. We've actually gone out and we've delivered it. What's next? So this is where we move to the operational side of things. And one of the key things we start with is obviously data. And I remember a famous quote from Carly Fiorina, who was the HP chief exec. And she said, the goal is to turn data into information and information into insight. And that's exactly what our data does. It gives you real good insight into your business UC deployment. Okay, so all businesses need to be able to sort of track and measure any ROI as well as any user adoption. And our analytics tool offering can provide a company with a complete ability to do this at group level, function level, or even business level, thus giving you and driving both efficiencies and savings. Now, the use of data will enable us to get quite factual on adoption, revenue, quality, and capacity. It will identify those areas which will need that maybe technical investment, maybe it's a learning need, or it could even actually highlight opportunities. And again, all based on unique insight. So the analytics will give you data on user adoption. It will tell you what's driving consumption of the available modes of communication and what's key to successful deployment for an ongoing use of unified comms. It gives you analysis on cost control, so monitoring usage and associated costs. It'll enable tighter control and highlight any ROI with unified comms through savings in all call costs, travel expense, and time. You'll have full visibility, so you'll have a flexible and user-driven solution to meet organizational and individual unique requirements. There's a very strong and detailed reporting element available as well. So reports are generated either using canned reports, ready-to-made available reports, or built by users defining the report format, or maybe a report designer where you can build your own and design your own reports as well. You can also basically have these reports set up as weekly reminders, as daily alerts, however you want to sort of cut and approach those reports. Service levels, so you can drive the highest level of business service levels, and employee productivity. So you'll have clear visibility, which will ensure correct time and resource management. Are you handling times acceptable? Who's calling who, where, what, when? And are users abusing resources? Is some of the insight that's also provided as well. So and if some users are apprehensive because it's new technology and they're not quite using it to its full potential, that insight will highlight a knowledge gap. And that takes me on to our next thing. Okay, so the analytics and the data, if it is some sort of technical gaps, it will flag that and we can address that. If it's user adoption, it can flag what are the challenges with user adoption. If we understand that the challenge we have is simply a skills or a confidence or a learning gap, then our learning tool is a product that offers online training solution that's going to be designed to help your end users discover the benefits and uses of each Office 365 product and the Skype for Business product as well. So as a result, your users can use these tools and applications more efficiently. So if you want to unlock the benefits of products for Office 365 and Skype, but you also want to empower your people, and remember, you're empowering your people now because you're giving them new skills and knowledge. You're also basically giving them something that they can use in their future career as well. Then the e-learning platform is absolutely must have. So again, employee productivity, but this time looking at it differently. So if you want to help your end users discover the benefits and uses of Office 365 and Skype for Business products, then the e-learning tool can be of absolute value. The content we share, we've got it available as user case videos, which is based on an end user's daily situation, and it's again all on the latest Office 365 and Skype application. We have some standard training collateral which people can just basically digest and read in their own time as well. So I remember I think it was last year Microsoft had released over 400 new features on Office 365 alone. Now that is a lot of change. That is also a lot of new information to digest. The beauty of the e-learning platform is any new additions, any new feature changes gets automatically updated as well. So again, you always have access to the latest features and functionalities of any new Office product. You'll also have a learning path as well. So users will have a personalized structure to learning by proposing a suite of courses that will allow users to discover or go in greater depth into a given application. We've also have gamification. So this will encourage, efforts made by users and stimulate involvement in Office 365 and Skype for Business learning. And then we've also got a Yammer community built into the tool as well. So, if your users have any questions they're not sure on, we have dedicated trainers who are available on Yammer community, and you can post any questions and our trainers will be more than happy to give you some sort of support. And then the whole wraparound, it will be reported. So again, you have reporting at different level, admin level, you have a dashboard, you can have alerts set up, you can see progress. So again, from a full end reporting capability, you can see what sort of traction your particular people or organizations have had within the e-learning platform. Okay, what if you want a different approach? Well, we can absolutely do that as well. So we'll have classroom training, so we can do train the trainer. So we can train a super user if you like. You might want just end user classroom training. So, we understand, people have different learning needs and different habits to learn. So, you've got the e-learning platform, or we can also basically do on-site classroom training sessions. If you want some additional flow walking, then absolutely we could do that as well. And any sort of additional awareness, maybe workshops or user engagements before you go live, then that's something we can also do deliver for you as well. Okay, so our consultancy and adoption program guarantees you the return on investment that your product deserves. So all businesses need to be able to track and measure any return on investment as well as user adoption. So our analytics offering can provide you with the complete ability to do this at various levels, thus driving both efficiency and savings. Our learning tool is a product that offers online training solution designed to help end users discover the benefits and uses of Office 365 and Skype for Business products. And as a result, your users can use these tools and applications more efficiently. So if you want a partner who has the experience of delivering hundreds of thousands of users, experience in making the complex simple, and experience in each verticals, someone who puts the customer first, and someone who has proven user adoption program, then come and speak to us. Or if you want to have a demo of our analytics tool or our e-learning platform, then absolutely that's something we can arrange as well. So this is a quick snapshot of our e-learning University tool. We can give you a demo of that. And this is a quick snapshot of our UC Analytics tool, and we can also give you a demo of that. So if you want to have a quick demo of any one of these, please come and speak to us and we'll be more than happy to facilitate. I'd like to thank you for your time. I'm going to hand over to Dan in a moment, and what we'll do is we'll move on to any questions and answers. Thank you. Dan.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Naeem. We've had a few questions through from social media, so we'll start with those to give everyone a chance to finish typing theirs in the chat box. Our first question is, we've currently got over 300 employees, so we've always been skeptical about paying for user adoption training for that many people. How much does it cost?
Okay, so the pricing starts at under £1, and obviously once you factor in the economies of scale and everything, it probably will get cheaper than that as well. But again, we've also, we listen to our customers when we do any new sort of product development, and we know each, customers' needs are different. So what we do in this scenario is we give our customers the choice. So, the choice is that you can go for a bundle option, you can go for the whole UC adoption program offering, or you may just want to have access to the analytics tool or the e-learning tool, and if that's the case, then we can do that as well. But in terms of pricing, it does start, under £1, and obviously the more users you have, then it'll be a different scale depending on that.
Perfect. Second question, how long does user adoption training typically take?
Okay, so it all depends on how much content you would like to cover. So we have standard training, which we based on Skype or Office 365, and then we have like a deep dive technical training as well. So it depends what your requirements are, what your needs are, and it also depends, do you want to identify super users and use super users to actually just consume the training and relay the message out. But typically, a standard overview and a quick getting start guide will be 1 day. If you want a proper end-to-end training session on Skype, then I will probably recommend it's going to be 2 days of classroom training. However, if the e-learning platform can give you access as and when you require throughout the throughout the life cycle of your unified comms deployment.
Perfect. Can you pick and choose how many people partake in user adoption training?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we would normally, it depends on the classroom size and depends on how many people we want, but that is the kind of sort of questions that we try to understand in terms of when we do the consultancy element and what is a good fit. I've had classroom sessions where we just had 3-4 people, but they would be super users, and then I've had a large classroom where I've had up to about 20 users as well. But normally we say our sweet spot is anything between about 12 to 17 people.
Okay, perfect. Next question. We've recently adopted Microsoft Office 365 across our entire organization, but we haven't yet adopted Skype for Business. What other solutions or products can you provide user adoption for?
So the user adoption training is available for any Skype for Business. So this could be Skype for Business on-premise hosted. It could be Skype for Business online, or in the new world, that will be that will be Teams. So again, user adoption will absolutely facilitate and support the new Teams release that will happen, and anything to do with Office 365. So all the products within the Office 365 stack system. So that could be your PowerPoint, your Excel, things like OneDrive, SharePoint. There are all the products that are available from a training perspective and user adoption perspective.
Okay, last question from social media. What is a super user, and how would this work in a business with a large amount of employees and locations? Will you have to have multiple super users?
Again, I'm going to go back to the sort of consultancy. This is where we define a design. If a super user is going to be the best fit for your requirements, is it going to give us the most, the biggest gain? So, what I find is that customers tend to go for like a hybrid mixture approach. So, they will do enhanced super user training. So these will be champions that have been nominated within the business, and these people will be the go-to people within the organization. These people will also be the people who will sort of push that message out about the new technology and change. But then what we also find is that is normally complemented by offering some classroom training, for some users who prefer a classroom environment, but then offering everybody access to the e-learning tool. And what that gives is that the e-learning tool will always be one form of resource that's always going to be available throughout the life cycle of your delivery. So no matter where a user is, if and when they need some additional support or help, or if and when they want to learn more about any specific product, if they want to digest that through a video, through just standard contact learning, or just post a quick question in the Yammer community, then the e-learning platform is the one constant throughout the whole life cycle of your product delivery.
Brilliant. Well, I think that's an end for all our questions. So thank you for your time this morning, Naeem. And thank you to everyone who attended our webinar. We hope you have a great day and look forward to seeing you at one of our future webinars or events very soon. Goodbye.